Picture this. Right now, as you're watching this video, a car-sized robot is rolling across a frozen desert millions of miles away from Earth. This robot has been working alone on Mars for years, sending us incredible images and discoveries that are changing everything we know about the red planet. What if I told you that these machines have found evidence that Mars once had rivers, lakes, and maybe even life itself? Today, we're diving deep into the real footage and discoveries from NASA's Mars exploration rovers. These aren't computer animations or artist impressions. These are actual images captured on another world. Get ready to see Mars like never before through the eyes of these incredible robotic explorers. Let's start with something mind-blowing that most people don't know. NASA has sent several rovers to Mars, but the most famous ones are Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and the newest addition, Perseverance. These rovers aren't just taking pretty pictures, they're doing real science on another planet. Think about what it takes to land a rover on Mars. The journey alone takes about 7 months, traveling over 300 million miles through space. When the rover finally reaches Mars, it has to survive what NASA calls 7 minutes of terror. This is the landing process where the rover goes from traveling 12,000 miles per hour to gently touching down on the surface. One small mistake and millions of dollars and years of work are lost forever. Now let's talk about what these rovers have actually discovered. The Opportunity rover, which was supposed to work for just 90 days, ended up exploring Mars for 15 years. That's like buying a car that's supposed to last 1 year, but it keeps running perfectly for 15 years. During its mission, Opportunity found clear evidence that water once flowed on Mars. The rover discovered rocks that could only have been formed in the presence of water. But here's where it gets really exciting. The Curiosity rover found something even more incredible in 2013. It discovered that Mars once had all the right conditions to support life. Not little green men, but tiny microbes similar to what we find in extreme environments on Earth. Curiosity found sulfur, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon, all the basic ingredients needed for life as we know it. Let's look at some of the real images these rovers have captured. The landscape of Mars looks surprisingly familiar in some ways, but alien in others. You can see dried up riverbeds that look just like ones you might find in a desert on Earth. There are rocks scattered everywhere, some as big as cars, others small as pebbles. The sky on Mars appears butterscotch or reddish during the day, but can look blue around sunset. This happens because of the way dust particles in the atmosphere scatter light. One of the most emotional moments in Mars exploration happened in 2018. The Opportunity rover got caught in a massive dust storm that covered the entire planet. The storm blocked out the sun for months, and Opportunity's solar panels couldn't generate power. NASA tried for months to contact the rover, sending over 1,000 commands. The last message they received from Opportunity basically said, "My battery is low and it's getting dark." After 15 years of faithful service, Opportunity had finally reached the end of its journey. But the story doesn't end there. The Perseverance rover landed on Mars in 2021 with a very special mission. This rover is specifically looking for signs of ancient life. It's collecting rock samples that will eventually be brought back to Earth by future missions. Imagine holding a piece of Mars in a laboratory here on Earth. That's exactly what NASA is planning to do. Perseverance also brought along a small helicopter called Ingenuity. This tiny helicopter made history by becoming the first aircraft to fly on another planet. It was only supposed to make 5 flights, but it's made over 50 flights and is still going strong. Flying on Mars is incredibly difficult because the atmosphere is 100 times thinner than Earth's. It's like trying to fly a helicopter at 100,000 feet altitude on Earth. Here's something that will blow your mind about these rovers. Every single day, they send back hundreds of images and scientific measurements. The data travels 300 million miles through space and reaches Earth in about 20 minutes. Teams of scientists around the world analyze every piece of information. They plan every move the rovers make, sometimes spending days deciding whether to drive to a particular rock. The rovers have also captured some truly spectacular events. They've photographed dust devils swirling across the Martian landscape. They've watched clouds drift across the alien sky. Curiosity even recorded the sound of wind blowing across Mars. These might seem like simple things, but remember, this is happening on a completely different world. What makes this even more amazing is that these rovers operate completely autonomously most of the time. Because of the distance, it takes 40 minutes for a signal to travel from Earth to Mars and back. This means the rovers can't be controlled like remote control cars. They have to make decisions on their own about where to drive and what to investigate. It's like having a smart robot scientist working independently on Mars. The real Mars rover footage has shown us that Mars is not a dead, boring planet. It's a world with weather, seasons, and a complex geological history. The more we explore, the more we realize how similar Mars is to Earth in many ways. Both planets have polar ice caps, both have dust storms, and both have evidence of ancient water. These Mars rovers represent one of humanity's greatest achievements. We've successfully placed multiple laboratories on another planet and operated them for years. The real footage and discoveries from these missions prove that we're not alone in having interesting worlds in our solar system. Mars once had conditions that could have supported life, and who knows what we'll discover next. If you found this journey through real Mars exploration footage as fascinating as I did, hit that like button. Share this video with anyone who's curious about space exploration, and drop a comment below. What discovery from Mars surprised you the most? The next time you look up at that reddish dot in the night sky, remember that right now, robots built by humans are exploring that world and sending back incredible discoveries. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through real Mars exploration.